you talk us through your subbing decisions, putting on 3 attacking players, maybe trying to get a result?
Well, the bench was pretty bare tonight. Obviously, with losing Da Costa and Harvey and Rose Lavelle out, so look, we wanted to win the game. We want to win. We want to pick points up at home, and look, the last 10-15 minutes was, they was on top and we was hanging on for dear life. But not many teams are going to, beat Chicago. They're a good team. We've got some fantastic players, and we've managed to go there and get a point and get a point here.
What do you think of Sammy Jo Pruden's performance tonight?
Yeah, she's been excellent for us. I was excited to see her play because we know, obviously, from working with her and what a great shot stopper she is, and I think she's proved that tonight, especially the save, whether she knew anything about it or not, but off the corner where she got down low and it hit her knee and went obviously wide. She's done well, and we've been really pleased with her, and it obviously gives us good competition in that position. And it's a tough decision to Waverley be stout because of my personal relationship with her, but Sammy stepped up to the plate and she's been fantastic.
Do you think that's going to come into play when you guys, I think, you're away against Seattle next game? So Abby Smith, we noticed she's back off the injured list, but
Yep.
Is that going to make a tough decision for you come game time?
Something we'll have to sit down and discuss because she's kept 3 clean sheets. So we'll make the decision that we feel that's best for the team when we go to Seattle. But as I said, I've been really pleased with the performance that she's put in since she's been in goal. Out of 4 games, she's only conceded 1 goal.
What about your defenders? Westfall is pushing pretty high. Chapman, it was tough out there. How did you feel about that back line?
We've kept a clean sheet, so we've got to give the defence, not just the back 4, but the players sitting in front of them credit. I felt at times we were a little bit too stretched. What we have done just of late is try to be compact, try to get our bodies behind the ball and stop teams playing for us, especially the way Chicago play, because they're very good at getting into feet, getting underneath it. And watching Kristen press live, it's a pleasure to watch her movement, the way she could just drop a shoulder and beat a player. They've got some very good attacking players in there, so it's difficult to deal with them. But for most part of the game, I felt we've done okay with that, and we've just got to take the positives of another clean sheet, and it's another point on the board.
Mm-hmm. So going up to the attack, Tasha Dowie, earlier in the season you said she would be a player who scored about every other game. Is that a prediction you make because you have a healthy Rose Lavelle behind her and something you have to revise now?
We've obviously had to change the way that we play because Rose is a player that can correct someone out of nothing. What I mean by that is she can beat someone on the dribble, she can ghost past players, and we've seen it for the national team when we saw it obviously early in the season for us. We've had to change Natasha's role slightly. If she's coming a little bit deeper for us, clearing the space for the wide players to get in beyond, or Rosie White, just trying to find different ways to break teams' presses. And I think defensively other teams have done a good job. When we went to Portland, they had 2 or 3 players around there, and same with Carolina, and we've had to come up with different ways of trying to break presses and break lines, and so she's been doing a good job for the team on that front.
Would you say Morgan Andrews has done enough that you might consider keeping her on the field even when Rose does come back?
Well, Rose is about 3 or 4 weeks away anyway, so that's not even in our thought process right now. With each game, Morgan's done well. She's got a great passing range. It's like anything. With these young players, they've got to be more consistent with their decision making, and and I feel Morgan with each game is getting better with that. So that's a positive thing for us to take. And again, similar to what Rory's just said, it's been a tough run for everyone. 4 games in quick succession, and for someone that hadn't played many minutes at the start of the year, she's got through each one in a 90-minute game. So she deserves a lot of credit for that.
A lot of famous soccer people here today from the '99 team. I'm wondering, from your perspective, I guess you were in England at that time, what you thought of that team and what you knew of at all Tony DiCicco?
I never got the opportunity to meet Tony. Working with Cat Whitehill, she spoke very highly of him, and speaking to Tiffany Weimer, spoke very highly of him. I loved his enthusiasm when you watch the national team play, when he was on Fox Sport. It's great that all these players have come out to celebrate him, and the one thing that stood out for me is not just in the women's game, in the men's game. exactly what he's meant to US soccer. And it's been great reading all the tributes to him, not only from players but from other coaching staff, national associations, and hopefully the club done him proud tonight with regards to celebrating his life tonight.
Do you remember the '99 World Cup at all?
Not really. 1938. No, 39 now. No, not really. Obviously, I remember Mia Hamm and the celebration and stuff like that, but unfortunately, I don't.
So we're now at the halfway point of the season. Might put you on the spot a little bit. What's your diagnosis of the team so far, and what do you see for them moving forward through the back half?
Well, I think we should be in a better position. I said to the girls at the end today, the positives we can draw on. We've kept another clean sheet. That's 3 on a row now. It's another point on the board. Look, we've had some injuries and suspensions that have hurt us. But it is what it is, and every team's had the same. Look at Washington at the start of the season. And I think Jim's done a great job to turn that round. I mean, look, we've got more points than what we had on the board for the whole of last season already. So that's a positive for me to take in the right direction. I've already said we've played North Carolina 3 times, Portland twice, Chicago twice. They're all teams that are in the playoffs. So we've got a lot of games with teams in and around where we are in the standings. And it's just important that we pick points up here. And it's important that we continue to be hard to beat. And as I say, for me, the most important thing is that we keep our head above water. And, if we finish mid-table, I think that'd be a great achievement for the amount of changes we've made as a club, personnel-wise, and I think it was 11 last year, 12 the year before, 13 and 12 points-wise. It would be good progress, and it was never going to be easy. I said at the start of the season we're going to have highs and lows, and I think we've responded to that tough period, and we've lost some of our best players in that tough period. We lost Megan Oyster, we lost Anisha Chapman, Rose Lavelle, and we've come through that now, and hopefully we're turning the corner and we can continue to be a team that can pick points up.
Thanks, Matt.
Cool, thank you.